Welcome to Bible Crafts for Kids, where we have a unique paper craft called Create-A-Pages. Let me introduce you to Create-A-Pages. Create-A-Pages are a paper craft that teachers make into kits and then assemble them in the classroom. They are based on a 6x6 format, so they be made into books. Each Create-A-Page maves and is a type of puzzle. There are different categories of the Create-A-Pages. There is the Miracles of Jesus, all 37, and each one is a puzzle, and it has the contents of the title, the number of the miracle, the words to live by, which is the ministry principle. It has the Bible passages label. It has the main characters. And last, it has the key verse. There are the people of the Bible, such as Adam and Eve. In this case, it is Abram. And this is such an interesting because of the way it unfolds. Then we have the books of the Bible. This is Deuteronomy. We have the title, the main characters. We have an interesting thing about Moses. We have the labels. And the kids put these together, and they love them because they are a puzzle. Today we're going to start with the Genesis page in the Books of the Bible category. Genesis page uses most of the techniques used throughout the Create-A-Pages. So let's get started making kits for our students. Number one, you're going to need to download the templates that you're going to find at BibleCraftsForKids.com. On the drop-down menu, Create-A-Pages. In those templates, you will find complete pictured instructions. You will find the labels for the Genesis page, and you will find the cutting template. On the labels page of the template, you will find that there are enough labels for 2 students on one page, as well as the cutting templates. There are enough for 2 students on the one page. On the Genesis label, you will also find consistently throughout the books of the Bible, you will have a title label. You will have the main characters label. You will have a key verse label. We will have a what the book is about label, as well as the ministry principle of words to live by. We also include a memory verse card that you may use in teaching your students. The Genesis page is a wonderful page because, again, it is a puzzle, but it opens and we have stair steps along the side. We also have the key verse tucked right into the accordion fold. It's also a circle which you can cut out from the template, or you may use a circle die from die cutting machines if you have one. Most all of the pages are made so that you can just do these pages with scissors and glue. But we use other tools as we make these, so I can show you how to do them, like a paper trimmer. But scissors and glue is all the basics that you really need. We start Create-A-Pages with 12 by 12 scrapbook paper, and then we cut it down to our base, which is 6 by 6. So you actually get 4 bases out of one 12 by 12 scrapbook paper. I'm going to use my paper trimmer, and I'm going to trim it into 6 by 6. And that is our base for our Genesis page. With our additional 6-inch square, we're going to line our 6-inch square up on the corner, and we're going to cut it out, keeping them both together so that you have a circle. After we get our circle cut, we're going to score it. We're going to score on the dotted lines, and then we're going to make a slit with a craft knife on the solid line. Now, if you have a scoreboard, this works very easily. Keeping the two sheets together, simply put it on your scoreboard and line it up and score it on the dotted lines. Now, there's another way to do this as well if you do not have a scoreboard. You use a foam sheet, a ruler, and a paper clip. So lay your papers, both papers, on your foam sheet. Lay your ruler next to the dotted line. Using your paper clip, push firmly into both papers and score on the dotted lines. Without moving our template away from our paper, we're going to lay it on our foam sheet. We're going to add our ruler next to the cut line, which is the solid line. We're going to take a craft knife and we're going to cut a slit in both pieces of paper, in your template and in your paper. And so we have a slit in our paper. And that's all we need to do for our circle add-on. There's one more thing we're going to need to do to this circle. We're going to need to put adhesive on the back. So how we're going to do that is we're going to fold it along the score line in the middle. It's always easier if you lay it down. That way you have something to press against. Then we're going to flip it over and we're going to apply double stick tape to the top portion into the middle section, right at the end of that slit, and along the bottom. Now we're going to stay away from this area here because that is where we're going to do our folding. Now let's work on our labels. With our labels, we're going to cut them out, and then I'm going to apply some double stick tape to the back so that it is easy for my students to use. Now, you can use glue sticks, whatever you choose and whatever you have available. To cut these labels, the first thing we want to do is cut all of the outside edges. And now, to continue cutting, we're going to look for the longest line, which are these two lines right in the middle. So we will cut them next. Now, there are enough for 2 students, and here is the key verse. Now, on the key verse on the Genesis page, we put the glue on the front of the label. So let's do that now. I like to use double stick tape because it works easily for the students, and they enjoy just tearing the release paper off, but also it creates less of a mess. But now that we've got the tape put on our key verse, let's go ahead and cut them out. The memory verse card is an add-on that you may incorporate into your lesson. So we have 2 students. And now let's take a look at the rest of our labels. Now the rest of our labels need an adhesive on the back. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply just going to cut that outside edge. And then I'm going to put double stick tape on the back. Now, it also makes it easier if you want to cut this line here, so you can see where to put your double stick tape a little easier. You may use any type of adhesive, even glue sticks. Cut them out, and then have the children use their glue sticks or your liquid glue. And now that we've got the tape on the back, let's go ahead and continue to cut them apart. Sometimes it's just easier to use a pair of scissors. Rather than the trimmer. So we have our base page, our circle template, we have all of our labels. So let's put this together. We're going to start with our circle, and there are our fold lines, 1, 2, and 3. Now this center fold line, we're going to simply fold and push it down. Then our fold line at the front, we're going to push down. And the fold line at the back, we're going to push down. And we're going to try to align them to where they are exactly in line with one another. Now you may have to just simply push it around a little. But then this next, on the inside, we're going to fold. We're going to fold it up and align it to that center fold. And we're going to do the same for the back. And this creates an accordion fold. So we push this middle down to begin with, and then we push it back up to align with the other 2 folds. And now we're going to attach it to our base page. Using the double stick tape on the back or glue, we're going to glue just this section that will touch the base page. Now, looking at the side, we want to make sure that it doesn't hang off the edge. We also want to make sure that there is enough room to put binding holes to this left if you are using binding holes. So let's attach that then. We want to try to keep this as straight in alignment with the top of the base page. But you know, it doesn't matter. If it gets crooked, it's going to be on the page and it won't matter. So now let's go ahead and attach our labels. Let's start with the title of the book, which is Genesis. And we're going to put it right on the front. And you can align this edge of the label with the edge of the slit. Next, we're going to put on the key verse. Now remember, we put the glue on the front. So it's going to go on the first dip in our accordion fold. And we're just going to glue it to the front so that when it opens, it is completely out of the way of the front, of the insides. So next, we're going to add what the book is about. Now, right here along the slit and the fold is where we will tuck that in. And next, our words to live by are going on the top. Again, we're going to tuck it in at the fold and that slit. Now, we want to make sure that we do not go over the fold because it will not fold correctly. And next, we have our main characters, which start with Adam and Eve, Abraham, Isaac, then Jacob, Israel, Joseph. And we're going to put those on the stair steps, making sure that we do not cross the fold lines. Now, most of your kids are going to know where these go and they'll get them on there, but they may not know the order that they go. And that gives you a chance to reinforce the Israeli line. And that completes our Genesis page. And of course, if you're putting it in books, then go ahead and put your binding holes on before you put your kits together. Thank you for joining me today. I know that you're going to enjoy Creative Pages. I've been using them for a number of years, and I've never had a child say, "Do we have to do those again?" And they simply love them because they move, they can manipulate them, they are a puzzle to put together. So join me for Exodus, and it will be in the books of the Bible as well.